The Dead as Disco demo has hit Steam, and I've sunk a fair amount of time into it. I'd like to use this video to recommend the demo to everyone watching, and give some suggestions to the devs on how I think the game could be improved. However, don't get it twisted, this game is really cool, and I've enjoyed my time with it incredibly. I just have a few tweaks and additions to make, and since you have the feedback link stamped all over the demo, I'll assume you'll hear me out. To give a brief overview of the game, Dead as Disco is a rhythm action game where you punch, parry, dodge, and fight to the beat of the music. All elements of the combat are directly linked to the tempo and rhythm of the song playing at the time, and the player is rewarded for pressing buttons on the beat. What sets this game apart from its few peers is its stylish presentation, beat-em-up inspired combat, and most intriguingly, the ability to upload your own MP3s and play along to them. Let's start with the combat. If you've played any of the Batman Arkham games, you're gonna get the gist pretty quickly. There's a single button to attack, one to counter, one to dodge, and one to perform finishers. There's no mechanical variation to your basic attacks, despite animations changing, they're all doing the same thing. Pressing the attack button to the beat enhances the damage you deal. I want to call out a problem early on here because I think this is the most pressing issue I have with the game, and I really want the devs to hear this. See, there's this charged attack in the game, performed by holding the attack button until the character glows, then releasing it. This is fine, this is totally fine, and not the issue at all. What is the issue is the way they've implemented it. You see, when you press the attack button, you don't actually attack until you've let go, charged attack or not. This may have been done so that you wouldn't throw out an attack before performing your charged one, but it is not worth it. Having it so that you don't attack when you press the button, but when you release it, makes the game feels that much more unresponsive. If you think I'm making too big of a deal about this, I promise you I'm not. Standard action games don't even do this, and the fact that this is also a rhythm game makes this almost damning. Both genres require responsive inputs. Games live and die by this. I'm not trying to negative edge my entire way through the game. Devs, please, for the love of God, change this. I want to press the button in rhythm, not release it in rhythm. I don't care if it makes you attack before using your charged move. If Devil May Cry does it, then you can too. With that out of the way, I mostly have positive things to say about the rest of the combat. Enemy attacks are telegraphed well. When an enemy comes at you with a counterable strike, you can press the counter button early to hurt them for doing so, or press the button with perfect timing to the beat to instantly take them down. The animation detail is extremely appreciated here. Having normal counters being punches and slaps to the beat, and the perfect counters being joint-breaking takedowns really rewards skill with a brutal snap. Enemies also come at you with attacks you have to dodge. These work similarly. Dodge early and you'll get out of the way, but deal no damage. Dodge perfectly and you can punish them immediately and open them up for a finisher. I like the difference between counters and dodges. They add animation variety and keep you on your toes. Having more than one defensive mechanic is always good, and hell, there's technically 3 in here. Final face button is finishers. Once you've dealt enough damage to an enemy, they'll be stunned and glow red. You can press the finisher button to begin a finishing animation that defeats them for good. During said animation, you are completely invincible, so keeping a stunned enemy around can be a good idea, because they can be a get out of jail free card, thus turning surrounding enemies into another tool for the player to use. A lot like how throws in beat 'em ups are invincible. Just reminds me of that. Bonus points for the final finisher of the round getting cool camera angles, by the way. Look at it. Finishers are long enough to be stylish and musically satisfying, but short enough to not get boring. That invincibility I mentioned, by the way, it also applies to counters. I just should mention that. Also, these animations make the hold input even more absurd. Like, there are so many instances where the player can't cancel an animation but can charge. It's like, were you worried that we're gonna accidentally throw out a move? Like, we're already punching and stuff most of the time. Like, we're not gonna not find an animation to do the charge. Jeez, guys. The character, his name's Charlie, by the way, I'm gonna call him that from here on, also has a projectile. Hitting an enemy with it allows Charlie to zip directly to them. This reminds me of Snatch, so I like it. A charged attack followed by one of these zips can lead to juggling enemies in the air. A useful and fun mechanic. I really hope there are more opportunities to juggle in the future, as well as more things to do with the projectile other than zip. Like, I don't know, a charged shot, an ability to bring an enemy to you, a move that covers a wide area, anything really. Although, that goes for your whole moveset. I know they're teasing it being expanded in the full game, but I hope it's in meaningful ways. More depth is always good, and if I were to suggest keeping one thing in mind, it'd be to focus on the player making meaningful choices often. Also, don't you dare put a cooldown in this game, I swear to God. Now onto your resources. As you can see, there's a blue meter and a skull in your user interface. These are simple right now, but I believe these could be your ticket to meaningful choices. Currently, the blue meter is used by holding a separate button, then pressing the attack button. This causes Charlie to swiftly move to the closest enemy and beat them down with great speed and power. I like this mechanic. The teleport gives it a use outside of damage, and the ability to flow in and out of these moves and normal attacks gives the player a great sense of freedom with the mechanic. The skull is given to you once you've hit enemies enough times. Thank God it's not a cooldown. Once you have it, it can be used by pressing the finisher button and the counter button simultaneously. This performs an instant kill, no matter if the enemy is at full health, holding a shield, or what have you. This is also nice enough, however, you can do this. By performing a charge attack and launching an enemy, you can follow that up with an instant KO. In the air, that also does splash damage to surrounding enemies, and said surrounding enemies also immediately die. I know this takes more preparation to perform, but it's so objectively the correct thing to do at all times that it completely overrides the ability to KO individual opponents. I'd maybe tweak the balancing here, or give the skull other things to do. As of now, the mechanic only results in me have skull, me do move, repeat. There's also a taunt button. It adds points to the overall level score when used, but I found it had an even more interesting use. You can use it to interrupt your finishers and counters. If you want to make a risky play and interrupt the safety of your invincible animation so you can perform a perfect counter on another enemy, you're free to do so with this technique. This rocks, it's risky, stylish, and badass. Please keep it in and add more scenarios in which taunt canceling can be utilized effectively. Maybe even canceling long attacks into other attacks or something? I don't know, the world is your oyster on this one, go nuts. Although more than one taunt animation would be cool. All this combines together to make Charlie move seamlessly from enemy to enemy, rhythmically taking them down and looking awesome while doing so. Like I said, I hope more mechanics and moves get added, but it's a solid base to start from. Keynotes. Please make attacks activate on press, not release. Allow more opportunity to show player skill. And make the player make more choices more often. Now, onto the second most important thing here, the music. And I've got some critiques on the implementation of my own implemented music. So first, to get it out of the way, when you play a level or song that actually comes with the game, it functions perfectly. It's seamless and badass, it feels great. Problem. You let me put my own songs in, and haven't given me the tools to make them feel as smooth. So what do I mean? Well, let's put in a song that won't get a claim on the YouTube video. Let's try Find Your One Way from Guilty Gear Strive. Alright, so let's do the BPM sync. Oh, it needs me to do it manually. I don't not have rhythm or anything, but as you can see, it's taking my inputs very literally, changing the tempo by decimal places with every tap. You'd have to be an actual robot to get the true beats per minute by yourself this way. Luckily, I can just look up the BPM and type it in manually. So with 5.8 seconds of research, we've discovered that the BPM of this song is 128. Let's give it a try. Huh, this feels not right. Let's try double timing it. It's probably just slow. Alright, well now it's just ridiculous and it still doesn't even feel right. Screw it, let's try making the tempo ourselves. You know, this actually feels correct. Oh, wait, no it doesn't. Wait, yes it does. Okay, so I think I know what the problem is and how to fix it. So when I manually tapped the beat out, it corresponded pretty well with the song, but I was minutely faster or slimper than the real tempo, so the song will go out of sync and back in on regular intervals. I honestly don't think this will end up working out. But why doesn't this work? I think I know why too. This is a random MP3 file. The metronome can be perfectly, consistently 128 BPM, but that doesn't mean it actually knows where count 1 is. Let me show you what I mean. This is the song's tempo. I then type out the exact right tempo, so the game produces this tempo. As you can hear, it's the exact same, and ideally they'd line up like this. But because the game doesn't know where to start, it ends up being this. Perfectly, consistently out of sync. Now, I could bring the file into Premiere and manually change it to line up with the game, but that's a huge hassle to do every time, so here's my proposed solution. On this screen, let us drag the song frame by frame and line it up with the visualizer that's already there. Even if we can't tell perfectly visually, the ability to change it will allow us to test it, feel that it's too early or late, and adjust accordingly. I really do think that if this could be implemented, it would fix all the problems with the user uploaded songs. Alright, let's wrap up with aesthetics and the only actual level in the demo. So right off the bat, Charlie looks incredible. Don't change a thing about his design. He's sleek and fits the vibe perfectly. He is also impressively animated. I know it's immensely difficult making good feeling combat animations, but y'all knocked it out of the park. When everything's going right, this is a gorgeous piece of art. Menu, enemy, and environment design are all top-notch too. They feel inspired and have a clear vision behind them. Great job here, genuinely no notes. Now, the soul level in the demo has a key detail about it that I just love. Progression isn't tied to the fights. It's tied to the song. You're literally playing an AMV. When the song transitions, so does the level. It's so freaking cool. I think if you did this for every level that involved a licensed song, and maybe had the original songs play in a more traditional level structure, in that you'd actually have to defeat enemies and move around to progress, that'd be just perfect. Those licensed music segments would make for legendary set pieces. Oh, cool end screen here, very style. Oh crap. I almost forgot about this. Master 7 styles? That sounds perfect, especially if you can hotspot between them. I also have another idea involving them. The current style is clearly built for funky disco beats. All the off and half beats it hits and rhythms it creates during the finishers and such makes that pretty clear. They're made for like disco. So the other 6 styles, what if you made them suited to other genres? Like one complements metal, or one jazz and one dubstep, you know? I think it's just a nifty idea and would expand the selection of songs that sound and feel good in this system. Because right now, whenever I put like an 80s song, it's great. But ironically enough, when I put a song that's actually made for combat, it's just kind of weird. Okay, maybe that wasn't the best example, but still. Alright, I think that's about all I have to say. I'm sure I have some deeper thoughts I could share, but I wanted to make this brief so my messages would be clear. I genuinely recommend everyone download this demo and wishlist the game. I see truly remarkable potential here, and I want this game to be the absolute best it can be. Alright, that's all I've got. I'll see y'all next time. Bye!